You know, come to think of it, we probably could have very easily biome hopped there and then gotten all of the stuff. Oh, okay. So now it's gonna let us. It's not gonna let us trans. We have to time warp for like 17 years to transmit everything. This must be a really small star then, and we're also probably at Avu's apoapse right about now. Well, we're not. Oh man, it's gonna get worse. We're gonna. We might not even have enough electric charge to run the probe core. So this is definitely, if you want to go any further out than like Kane or maybe even Windswept, we're either going to need more than like these two little solar panels for like to run a small probe core, or we are going to need RTGs, which are much later in the tech tree. We have, however, unlocked a nuclear reactor, but I don't know how long it lasts for. So that's something to consider. It's probably still lighter to use solar panels though. So it is done transmitting data. Okay, nice. Uh, mission number 2. Go to Ari, I don't know. This place, Ariana Grande. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to approach it in sunlight, because the last one did. We did not approach the last one in sunlight, and it almost killed us. So we're going to do a bit of a prograde here to get our descending node at our apoapse. What am I kidding? We don't even need to be efficient here. We have loads of fuel. The thing is, the reason that I wanted to maintain fuel is because I think I have an idea now. I do not want to strand Bob Kerman on the surface of what's it called again? Avu. I want him to be able to get back to orbit, and I think this lander just barely has enough fuel to do that if everything goes right and we can top it off from the mothership at the right time. However, it's going to be really close, but like we do have enough fuel to top this off. Like unless like going to Eri, I don't know, going to the Ariana Grande moon it takes like a bunch of fuel, which it won't. Like it can't be like it can't be that much larger than Iron. Well, I mean everything can be. I would be surprised if there are worlds smaller than Iron in this pack. There probably are. I time warped past the node too much. Anyway, let's see. Because we have oodles of fuel. In fact, we can probably shove some of the old liquid fuel over to the mothership so we can get lower down. We might even be able to like take more fuel from the mothership after we ascend, and then we might actually be able to just barely get Bob Kerman home if we go right at apoapse. That's something weird to think about. This might not be a one-way mission. Don't get your hopes up, Bob. Because, in all honesty, that's a very slim chance. So what we want to do is we want to be slightly faster than it, but we are too slightly faster than it. So we're going to speed up to slow down, because orbits are weird like that. There. Collision course. Which is not exactly what I want to see, but it'll do. Nope, we don't want it. Okay. No, stop RCSing. Now we've probably botched the encounter. We can fix it later. There we are. Okay, we still have the encounter, and we have a periapsis, which is higher than 2.5 kilometers, so it means that we actually have some semblance of sphere of influence to work with. Why are we losing electric charge when we time warp that much? We shouldn't. We're going to get an encounter here, right? And we're approaching it from the night side again. Okay, it looks a bit less inhospitable than the last one. Okay, and we're not going to hit it, right? There we are. Okay. We're in the sphere. There we are. Now we're in the sphere of influence. Okay. We only have a few seconds here. And there it is. There we are. And I'm going the wrong direction. Sort of. Okay, well, it must be just the surface velocity is too high. So I'm going to get into an orbit a bit. We're going to wait until it's day. That's not really an orbit, but, like, it's effectively an orbit. And I would say land on the crater, the mountain that our periapsis is on the side of, but because the surface spins so fast, I think we're going to have to settle for one of those mountains over there. Not enough electric charge, so we are going to be here for a while. So yeah, definitely more solar panels next time we get out this far. Okay, actually, let's land here. Flying this without SES is so annoying. Flying this without electricity is so annoying. Okay, so now we just have to wait a good long while for us to get to the service. And then stop rolling. Then we can transmit everything just fine. Well, okay, that's a bit weird. So I do really prefer having SAS for this. But, okay, yeah. And then we can land on this little tiny bit of flatness over here. Okay. It's kind of pointless having landing gear out. Okay. I haven't done any SAS list flying in a while, so. And then we can just set down here and not break anything and just wait until our solar panels recharge the batteries enough to, actually no, hold on, we do want to be upright for this, because then our solar panels will gather energy more efficiently. Come on, I'm gonna run out of RCS for the docking if this keeps up. Granted, that's not a problem. I've done RCS-less dockings before, and I'm confident in my ability to do it in this thing. It's just a bit much. I wish this was configurable. Like, the antenna, I wish you could say, like, okay, transmit until charge is at like 10% or something like that. Okay. So, SAS is not letting us. Okay. Gear is not letting us be stable, is what I'm saying. Can we time warp now? Yes, okay. So now we're just gonna hang out here and warp until we transmit everything. Really? It was that simple? Okay. So can I just do this again now? And then later on I'll get EVA reports and whatnot. But that's not important right now. That's pretty cool. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. So now we're going to do EVA report from just above. Space high. We're on a mountain and we're still in space high. That's funny. Take service sample. EVA report. Wait, I didn't store it? Okay, fine. I will store both. Store experiments. Wait, not all. Well, on space high. EVA report. Yeah, I don't want to. Midlands. There we are. Plant flag. Sure. And there goes the ship. All right. Oh, the flag is inside the ship. Oh, let's go grab our ship before it falls into the crater. Oh, now I'm in orbit. Okay. Oh, this is gonna nauseate me to no end. Can I change the camera mode to? Oh no. Because the ship is right on the edge of being in orbit and on not orbit. So if I rendezvous aggressively enough, it'll constantly switch camera modes. But anyway, sure, dump experiment, whatever. All right, we're here. We came, we conquered, and now we go. Goodbye, Ari. Much more hospitable sphere of influence. All right, so now we can deal with the power struggle and hopefully transmit all this stuff again. Because anything over 1000x, the power goes weird, and we end up not having any power. So we're gonna wait until we have full battery, and we're gonna transmit this stuff. Transmit data. I'm really glad I had those batteries, because if I hadn't, it would have been even more annoying. Alright, so now, next order of business. Return to Scout 3. Refuel, try and get into as low orbit as possible. And land on the surface of Avu, and maybe return. In theory, we should be able to return. In practice, I don't know. Why are we drifting? I think we're having that bug again, so I'm going to go ahead and quick save and quick load, where our orbits will drift after we exit a very small sphere of influence. I've seen it in pretty much every planet pack. Okay, so now we're on a rendezvous trajectory. Well, not yet, but like we're going to be on a rendezvous trajectory in like 5 seconds. With Scout 3. We're going to... What's our periaps? Okay, 50.1. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so now we're going to burn retrograde. And we're going to get the intercept, which is 4.5, close enough. Because like one click of the RCS sends us careening off into infinity. So we will refine that at a later time. So yeah, definitely larger solar panels. That's like #1 thing for future missions using this design. If I use this design again. I do only have 1.5 monopropellant to dock with, but that will be easily surmountable. 700 meter rendezvous, good enough. It's going to be in the dark, but we should dock around sunrise. Along the surface, so it's laggy. 20 kilometers, 18 kilometers. There we are. 2.8 kilometers away, so we're about to load it in. And we can begin slowing down about 1 kilometer out, I'd say. This would never fly in real life. Like, they would slow down way earlier just to avoid any risk whatsoever. Like, when they dock to the International Space Station, they are careful so that not even the exhaust of the thrusters will, like, get to the space station. Well, some of it will, but, like, they're careful to, like, minimize that. So, like, there's a lot of logistics that go into, like, actual real-world docking that you don't have to deal with in Kerbal. So we want that front docking port. So I'm going to do that thing where we point at the target. Oh, those solar panels, those glorious solar panels. So much energy. And it's going to be all mine in a second. We should just be able to gently nudge ourselves forward and have minimal RCS corrections. If any, we may not need RCS at all. So hold on, it says target. See, I'm going to do a little bit of an RCS correction. That may have been too much. There we are. And we have docking. I do believe that may be our first docking ever. Look at all those world firsts. Now, are we any closer to being able to unlock the R&D? Actually, no, we have a great deal closer to being able to unlock the R&D upgrade. Like, we only need like 400 more thousand, and a little bit after that. Well, we only need like 350 to buy the big upgrade itself, but we want a bit more to be able to afford a mission after that. And we want to get into as low of an orbit as possible. Which, okay, how much will it take if we don't aerobrake? 218. That's actually a lot with the margins that we are dealing with here. However, aerobraking is risky to say the least. Because, like, we're definitely not going down to like 30 like we did. How about 40, 42? That's a fun number. And of course, we're going to retract the solar panels. We also have the RCS to work with, actually, now that I think about it. While we're here, let's have Bob Kerman get an EVA report. Wait, did we time warp like into the atmosphere? We time warp into the atmosphere. And we want ourselves to be in the normal direction, so we have maximum cross-sectional area for aerobraking. 865, so we did decelerate somewhat. So it's just a matter of doing several passes, is the vibe I'm getting from this. And we time over into the atmosphere again, but that's okay. So this may take a while. Going down to 39 to attempt to speed things along a little bit. Good news, that is significant deceleration. Okay, I think this is going to be the final aerobraking pass. We might actually have gone in too deep. Hopefully our apoapsis doesn't drop too far. It might also be just perfect. Because ideally you want our apoapsis to be exactly like 50 or slightly above. Yeah, we're gonna go prograde now. Actually, no. Let's go back to normal. Okay, we would have been fine, but... yeah, 92. I don't want to do another pass. Yeah, let's call it there. Yeah. We can, like, RCS our way through the rest of the maneuvers. Prograde here to lift ourselves out of the atmosphere. Ah, 52 kilometers seems like a good orbit. Then we can RCS ourselves the other way. Okay, well, we missed our chance on this orbit, so we'll do it on the next orbit. And monopropellant will hopefully be able to bring our apoapsis down to about 52. And we should still have enough left over to do another docking. Perfect. Well, not perfect, but like sufficiently close to perfect that I'm confident is calling it perfect. So now, the part that I've been working up to this entire time. We're going to land on a VU and hopefully return to the mothership for all the good that the mothership will do us at this point. Which, the good that the mothership will do us at this point is not much. Like, we have a little bit of fuel in here to boost ourselves, like, by 50 meters per second, which we might actually need with the margins we're talking about. Actually, a receiver. So, the idea is we're going to land on a VU with this lander. We're going to refuel it all the way from these tanks. And depending on how much fuel we have when we reach orbit, which may not be very much, we will be able to grab the rest of the fuel and oxidizer out of these tanks, which is probably about 1 kilometers per second's worth, maybe a bit more. And maybe using the rest of the RCS and engines and fuel, like maybe using everything, maybe even using the EVA pack too, I don't know. We may just barely be able to get home if we depart a VU at a VU's apoapsis, like up here. And then if we do retrograde burn, we may be able to get low enough to catch reticulum, which can maybe gravity slingshot us into a lower orbit. I don't know, actually. We're probably not going... This is probably just wishful thinking. I'll be happy if I make it back to orbit at all. And that happening relies pretty much entirely on... like, if it will be feasible. That relies pretty much entirely on how much the atmosphere slows us down on the way down. Because theoretically we do barely have enough fuel to make it back. Oh, I forgot the docking propellant. You know what? We need all the extra fuel we can get, let's be honest. Oh, did I forget to refuel the engine? Oxidizer deprived? Oh, I forgot to, there we are. Also, did you know you can just drag the fuel bar over here with your mouse? It doesn't do anything, but I didn't know that. Someone posted on Reddit, and apparently it's been in the game this entire time, and nobody's noticed until now. It doesn't like actually change your fuel level. So we're gonna have to be really careful with this last remaining bit of monopropellant we have, because we're not gonna get any more.